In the world of outlaw biker gangs, where violence is the currency and power comes through bloodshed, few names echo as loudly as Necati Arabaci. Known as the Godfather of Cologne, Arabaci's life is a story of steadfast ambition, built on a foundation of extreme violence and strategic alliances. From controlling Germany's red light district with an iron fist, to planning violent biker wars and shocking assassination plots, Arabaci's reputation is one built on brutality. He's not only led powerful criminal networks, but also maintained control from behind bars, demonstrating a terrifying reach that even prison walls couldn't contain. This journey through the most brutal moments of Arabaci's life reveals how one man built an empire in Europe's criminal underworld, and how his iron grip continues to inspire both fear and fascination. Early days, the birth of a violent empire in Cologne. Arabaci's journey in crime began in the 1990s in Cologne, Germany, where he quickly rose through the ranks of the city's underworld. Known for his vicious control tactics, Arabaci aimed to dominate Cologne's profitable red light district, specifically around Kölner Ringe. This area, buzzing with nightlife, attracted criminals looking to control illegal trades like prostitution, drug trafficking, and protection rackets. Arabaci was willing to go further than most, using brutality to seize control and intimidate anyone who challenged him. Those who refused to pay protection fees or work with him were often met with violent punishment. Arabaci formed the Arabaci clan, a loyal group of enforcers who operated as bouncers and bodyguards across nightclubs and brothels. His gang reportedly used threats and physical intimidation against rival gangs and club owners, taking over numerous establishments. They allegedly also forced young women into prostitution, creating a human trafficking network that fueled their criminal operations. As Arabaci's group turned into a terrifying presence that terrified both the public and other gang members, police struggled to control his influence. Brutal moments and notorious incidents that defined Arabaci's rule. Arabaci's criminal journey has been highlighted by events that underscore his readiness for extreme violence and his influence in the criminal underworld. The Cologne red light district confrontations. The initial years of Arabaci's rise were marked by violent clashes in Cologne's nightlife scene. He did not hesitate to use physical force to claim dominance over businesses and rivals. His clan's men acted as muscle, threatening, beating, or even driving away those who dared to oppose him. For Arabaci, the red light district was his primary territory, and he did everything in his power to make it clear. The ruthless methods he employed in Cologne set the tone for his career and established him as a dangerous figure to be reckoned with. Arabaci's operations also allegedly involved exploiting young women, tempting them into prostitution rings controlled by his network. These women, often vulnerable, were manipulated and forced, forming a crucial part of his illegal business empire. By dominating the red light district, Arabaci secured his place as one of the most feared figures in Cologne's criminal landscape. Assassination attempt on prosecutor Jürgen Wharton. One of the most infamous incidents tied to Arabaci is his reported plot to assassinate Chief Prosecutor Jürgen Wharton, who had been investigating his criminal activities. In 2002, Arabaci was arrested on a range of charges, including pimping, extortion, and human trafficking, but his influence only grew even from within prison. Determined to eliminate those who threatened his operations, Arabaci allegedly hired an Albanian hitman to carry out the assassination of Wharton. Police detected the plan by tapping the conversations between him and his visitors, but the incident showed just how far Arabaci would go to protect his empire. This assassination plot shocked the public and highlighted the dangerous extent of Arabaci's reach. The investigation that followed revealed a properly designed communication network that allowed him to control his operations from behind bars. Prosecutor Wharton was placed under police protection, and the authorities increased their surveillance. But Arabaci continued to operate his criminal network, even allegedly running the Colosseum brothel in Augsburg while imprisoned. This episode not only made headlines, but also showed his outrageous disregard for law enforcement. Biker gang. Rivalries and violent clashes. As his power grew, Arabaci came into contact with other motorcycle gangs, which resulted in violent altercations that attracted the attention of the public and law enforcement. One of his most significant rivalries was with the Satudara Motorcycle Club, a gang competing for control of the profitable crime territories in Germany and the Netherlands. Arabaci's clashes with Satudara often escalated into open violence, with both gangs fighting over control of prostitution, drugs, and protection hustles in intersecting regions. These gang wars resulted in injuries, deaths, and an intensified crackdown on biker-related crime across Europe. While Arabaci's Hells Angels group was known for its brutality, he was also a strategic thinker. By aligning with powerful groups and reinforcing his territory, he cemented his place at the top of Germany's crime world. Despite efforts by law enforcement, Arabaci's control only grew stronger, leading many to see him as untouchable. Strategic partnerships with other criminal syndicates. Though feared for his violent methods, Arabaci was also known for his ability to work out alliances with other crime groups. His partnership with the United Tribunes gang was one such example. This alliance extended Arabaci's influence across Germany and Turkey, creating a powerful network that could control various illegal enterprises, including drug trafficking and prostitution. By aligning with the United Tribune, Arabaci expanded his criminal reach without directly engaging in conflicts, avoiding costly gang wars when diplomacy could serve his interests just as well. This strategic collaboration with other criminal organizations allowed Arabaci to remain a dominant force even when his presence became the focus of German law enforcement. He demonstrated a wise understanding of criminal politics, using partnerships to grow his empire while keeping a grip on territories already under his control. Imprisonment and control from behind bars. Arabaci's operations did not stop with his 2002 arrest. If anything, his influence seemed to increase. During his 9-year sentence, Arabaci reportedly controlled several brothels, including the notorious Colosseum in Augsburg. His network was well coordinated, allowing him to issue orders and operate business from prison. Police and intelligence agencies were shocked at the level of organization in Arabaci's operation, as he continued to oversee illegal activities while serving time. This control from prison showed his deep influence and connections, with loyal followers keeping his operations running smoothly. Despite being behind bars, Arabaci's power remained a challenge for German authorities, who struggled to contain his far-reaching criminal network. His loyalty among associates was firm, and even after his release, he returned to a position of significant control over his empire. Deported to Turkey and a new chapter in crime. Upon his release in 2007, Arabaci was deported to Turkey, a move intended to limit his influence in Germany. However, this only marked the beginning of a new chapter in his criminal career. In Turkey, Arabaci was appointed as the president of the Hells Angels MC Nomads Turkey, giving him unmatched control over the organization's operations in the region. He used this role to expand into new territories, involving himself in activities like human trafficking, organized prostitution, and drug trafficking. In Istanbul, Arabaci was said to have continued his empire, leveraging his reputation and connections to solidify his standing in Turkey's criminal world. Turkish authorities launched several crackdowns to dismantle his network, yet his empire continued to function. His position within the Hells Angels brought him international recognition and made him a feared figure, not only in Turkey but also in Europe, where his criminal activities were still felt through his network. The Interpol warrant and his latest arrest. Arabaci's unchecked expansion and violent methods did not go unnoticed. In 2015, Spanish authorities issued an EU-wide arrest warrant for him, specifying his involvement in drug trafficking, extortion, and organized crime activities in Spain. Despite this, Arabaci evaded capture, protected by Turkey's non-extradition policies for its citizens. His criminal reach and Turkey's legal shield allowed him to continue his operations, leading to frustration among international law enforcement. In 2023, however, Turkish authorities arrested Arabaci in Izmir, marking another chapter in his ongoing criminal saga. This arrest was significant, as Turkish law enforcement focused on cracking down on organized crime within its borders, targeting Arabaci's empire. The arrest sparked new investigations as authorities aimed to dismantle the network that had been years in the making. While his future remains uncertain, Arabaci's long-standing influence continues to challenge the efforts of law enforcement. Necati Arabaci's life portrays a ruthless crime lord who combined violence with strategic alliances. His career has left a mark on Europe's criminal landscape, from Cologne's red light district to Turkey's Hell's Angels. Even after multiple arrests, Arabaci's network remains vast and resilient, influencing the criminal underworld across borders. Arabaci's story is one of ambition, brutality, and cleverness, showing how one man's rise can create waves that affect countless lives. His legacy as a Hell's Angels leader and one of Europe's most feared criminals continues to exist, with law enforcement continuing to dismantle his network, while his reputation as a figure of ruthless power remains fixed in organized crime history.